Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we explore fascinating curiosities and deep lore from the lore of the Rings universe. If you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming analyses. Today's video will be a documentary-style breakdown, setting the stage for a detailed exploration of the mysterious origins and true nature of the visage of Middle-Earth figures like Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast. Views stories go far beyond what is woven into films. Before we begin, an important note: to avoid copyright issues, every image in this video was generated entirely by AI. Because of that, some visuals may contain small inconsistencies when compared to certain scener descriptions from Tolkien's works. Additionally, there may be occasional narration errors, since we are still testing and refining the best AI voice for our documentaries. With that said, let's dive into this journey and uncover what really lies behind the powers, the mission, and the secret origins of the five starry Valkyrie among the peoples of Middle-Earth. To understand what the visage truly are, we first need to look back to the earliest moments of creation in Middle-Earth. In the beginning, there was the supreme being which appeared all existence through tuigt alone. From his mind came to einer, primordial spirits meant to help mold the universe. When brukt fot the physical world, to the spirits angered I det har shape its form become known the Valar and the Maiar. The Valar were the mightiest among them, each commanding dominion over vast elements of creation. Man var over to winds and skis, eller over stone and metal, and others with equally in ens rules. Serving beneath the Valar were the Maiar, spiritual beings of lesser power but still essential in forming and maintaining the world. Tog their true forms were not physical, the Maiar could adopt many shapes, appearing in ways suited to their tasks. It was through dessa som bodies that some Maiar eventually become known as the visads. Their transformation into what we call magos was not random or spontaneous. It was a deliberate decision to take a growing triad, the rise of Sauron. At the end of the Second Age, Sauron forget the One Ring and weighed war against the elves and men. Isildur cut the ring from his hand, destroying Sauron's physical form. Yet because Sauron was a Maiar, his spirit endured, and horred by the power he had poured into the ring. Vid hört its destruktion, he lingered in a shadowy state, slowly gaining strength. It's almost reminiscent of a horcrux for those who think of modern fantasy, and the comparison isn't entirely off. Around the year 1000 grader Fahrenheit the Tid Age, Sauron began to rise again, taking Dol Guldur as his stronghold. The Valar, recognizing the danger, formed a council and chose 5 Maiar to journey to Middle-Earth. This group would be known as the Starry, sent not to dominate but to guide its peoples against the returning darkness. Bound by strict rules, they cared not much Sauron through overwhelming force or rule over elves and men by fear. Instead, they would walk among them as pash, humble, vise, and subtle in power. The group of 5 Maiar chosen for this mission became known as the Astari: Saruman, Radagast, Alatar, Philando, and Gandalf. These were their original names before setting foot in Middle-Earth. What's fascinating is that before Gandalf was selected, he openly admitted he did not want to go. He believed himself too weak and confessed that he feared Sauron. Honestly, who wouldn't? Sauron was an overwhelming force, even in spirit form. Yet the Vala told Gandalf that his fear was exactly why he needed to go. By confronting the shadow of Sauron, he would reclaim his own courage and inspire others to do the same. Knowing this adds incredible weight to the moments in The Lord of the Rings where Gandalf shows fear. Those scenes are not signs of weakness. They are markers of a long internal journey, moments where he struggles but chooses bravery anyway. And Ian McKellen captured that beautifully on screen, bringing out the quiet depth of Gandalf's mission. Once chosen, the 5 Astari were sent across the sea to Middle-Earth to fulfill the task given by the Vala. But not all of them remained involved in the events we know. Alatar and Philando traveled east long before the War of the Ring and never returned. Because of that, they play no role in the core stories of Middle-Earth, and they never appear in the films. It's a narrative gap that many fans would love to see explored. Imagine a series, game, or movie about the Blue Wizards and their mysterious journey into the East. The three remaining Istari, Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast, stayed among the peoples of Middle-earth. Their mission centered not on domination but on guidance. One of their greatest strengths was the inspiration they brought to those around them. Gandalf, especially, could stir wisdom, hope, and resolve simply through his presence. Before he walked openly as an Istari, he often traveled unseen among the elves, instilling visions and gentle suggestions that shaped their hearts. As the Istari settled into Middle-earth, their presence became a quiet but powerful force among elves and men. Their mission was rooted in guidance rather than domination, and their greatest gift, especially in the case of Gandalf, was the inspiration they awakened in the hearts of those around them. There is an ancient account describing how, long before he revealed himself openly, Gandalf walked among the elves unseen. Although he often appeared in the shape of one of them, they never truly knew where the sudden sparks of wisdom or the beautiful visions in their minds originated. These subtle influences came from him, woven gently into their thoughts like threads of light. This hidden ability is why Gandalf's later leadership carried such profound weight. When he stood with the defenders at the Battle of Helm's Deep, he represented more than a mere commander, he was a beacon. His presence alone could rally courage, bring clarity, and direct the will of men toward what was right. He could inspire goodness just as naturally as breathing. But inspiration, like any power, could be twisted. Saruman provides the clearest example of this corruption. His voice, once a source of wisdom, became a weapon. With it, he bent orcs and Uruk-hai to his will, guiding them not toward light but toward destruction. It was the same innate gift the Istari shared, simply turned toward darker ends. Of course, the wizards were capable of more direct forms of magic as well. Gandalf demonstrated this when he set pine cones ablaze to attack the wargs, or when he summoned a burst of lightning through his sword during his battle with the Balrog. Radagast, in contrast, used his abilities to cleanse the dark enchantments afflicting the spiders of the forest, working his power through nature itself. The Istari could also manipulate the world around them with telekinetic force, creating ripples of energy and impact during combat. Their physical frailty as elderly wanderers made these moments even more surprising, watching them suddenly move with speed and precision, staff and while striking with astonishing power. Yet beyond these displays, they possessed subtle glimpses of the future, sensing the consequences of unfolding events like echoes carried on the wind. Their connection to the future was subtle, more like an instinctive awareness than a clear vision. Gandalf often sensed the potential consequences of certain choices, as though faint ripples of what might come reached him before events fully unfolded. This intuition guided many of his decisions, especially during the rising threat of Sauron. And because the Istari were Maiar, their spirits endured even when their physical bodies were destroyed. This is why Gandalf could return after his battle with the Balrog. Although it's implied he did not revive by his own power alone, he was permitted to return through the influence of higher beings, restored to complete his mission. Their spiritual origins also granted them natural affinities tied to the Vala they once served. Gandalf, originally a Maiar of Manwë, carried an intrinsic bond with the winds and the birds. This connection explains his close relationship with the eagles, who arrived at pivotal moments as trusted allies rather than mere creatures of chance. Radagast, on the other hand, served Yavanna, the Vala responsible for growing things. His love of forests, animals, and all living creatures reflected that deep-rooted nature, making him the protector of wild places. Saruman, sadly, drifted far from this harmony. Once aligned with the constructive power of all, he became corrupted, losing the natural bond he should have preserved. Instead of nurturing or protecting, he turned to domination, tearing down forests, exploiting the land, and fueling the fires of Isengard for his own gain. His fall from grace stands as one of the most tragic arcs among the Istari, showing how even the wise can be twisted by pride and desire for control. These, then, are the defining traits of the wizards of Middle-earth, beings who sacrifice their divine nature to walk among mortals, guiding their hearts in the long struggle against darkness. Their influence stretched far beyond spells and battles, shaping the destiny of the Third Age through wisdom, courage, and sacrifice. So these were some of the essential traits that define the wizards of Middle-earth, the Istari, beings who relinquish their divine forms to walk beside mortals and dedicate their lives to guiding hearts in the long fight against evil. Their story, however, ties directly into a broader series exploring the origins and characteristics of the peoples of Middle-earth. This video serves as the second entry in that series. If you haven't watched the first one, which covers the origins of the elves, men, and dwarves, it's definitely worth visiting afterward, since it lays a rich foundation for everything connected to Tolkien's world. As this exploration reaches its conclusion, the invitation opens for more stories. The creator encourages viewers to share which characters they want to see featured in future episodes, perhaps figures whose histories remain partially hidden or characters who play crucial roles behind the scenes. With the upcoming release of the new The Lord of the Rings series, it feels like the perfect time to revisit these myths, brushing up on the vast lore that shapes Middle-earth. Rereading these tales, checking old references, and rediscovering long-forgotten details becomes a nostalgic journey of its own. There's a special excitement in returning to this world, wandering again through Valinor, stepping into the Shire, or traveling alongside the Fellowship. Revisiting all of this brings back the wonder and depth that made Middle-earth unforgettable in the first place. To close things out, the video encourages viewers to leave a like if they enjoyed the content, since that support makes a significant difference. New viewers are invited to subscribe, explore the playlists organized by theme, and follow along for more deep dives into Tolkien's universe. And for those who want to chat or stay updated, there's always the option to follow on Instagram. With that, the journey for this chapter ends, paving the way for future episodes and more explorations of the vast mythology crafted by Tolkien.